Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty big and pretty huge news when it comes to the Xbox, and it's actually, in my opinion, somewhat groundbreaking news. Now, this actually goes and ties into the future of their Game Pass system, as well as also what games might be available for them, and something also that PlayStation themselves, as of currently, will not have access to. Basically, from a little bit of the prior information and leaks and other various corporate deals we've had a chance to see, this is actually looking pretty cool. But as well, we've also had some pretty big news too on top of brand new games coming out too as well, and we're seeing some news on top of that, and also some pretty cool just streaming news in general. Just a lot of little various stuff all throughout this video. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We also do have the brand new link down below for the Samsung TVs. I think there's only a few more days left on that deal, so check that on out. Link down below, or just click on the link and see how all the vibes are. We also do have the Target links as well, the Twitter and Twitch streaming. As I said, make sure you guys are subscribed and give me your thoughts on the video itself. So as you guys may or may not know, there's always that big back and forth between Xbox and PlayStation, especially now with Game Pass being in the news. We've actually had a lot of really big vibes coming out too as well, where basically we've been seeing soft blocks in terms of corporate money and spending when it comes to Xbox. And now this has been somewhat of a big issue because we are seeing Game Pass kind of getting a little bit of a monopoly. PlayStation's trying to go and stop it, and there's kind of a back and forth of what is being offered, who will be offering it, and what systems can basically play certain games. But we actually now have a pretty big leak now and a lot of things that are floating around in regards to some Xbox, in my opinion, pretty big game changers floating around. And now this is in regards to the brand new Ubisoft subscription service. So as you guys know, there is a thing called Ubisoft Plus or Uplay Plus or U Plus, whatever you guys want to go call it. And this is essentially a super nice system. They were able to go and play the latest Ubisoft games on day one, similar to how Game Pass is, for $14.99 or 13 euros or 14 pounds or whatever you guys want to go call it in the crazy European lands. And now this has actually been something I myself have been subscribed to, like say for Far Cry 6 when that came out, Riders Republic, Watch Dogs, even Assassin's Creed. I don't mind paying the $15, kind of in a similar vein of Game Pass, and having access to a lot of cool Ubisoft games for $15. Sometimes they'll even have dual launches in the same month, so you get to play two AAA games that would maybe cost you $120 and pay it for $30. I'm sure it's the same mentality a lot of folks have for Game Pass, where it's you pay the $10, $15, you have a chance to get some pretty cool games and make everything a little bit easier. Life's not too bad. Why would you not want to? So basically, as of right now, we're seeing now leaks coming with the Ubisoft Plus subscription service that may actually be soon launching on Xbox. So, cool stuff. So Ubisoft's subscription service, Ubisoft Plus, may now soon be launching up here on the Xbox system. So think PC, think Xbox Game Pass, and all the other good stuff. So right now, the big leak is that a logo for the service has been found by @Allumia Italia, a user that basically scraps, the Xbox internal information. So basically, that just means all the backends are if there's a file there, if there's a picture there, if there's a pre-beta, if there's initial firmware, basically if you guys ever come into say consoles or phones or PCs, sometimes you will have companies that will preemptively add stuff. It's kind of say for Fortnite, they'll go and sometimes add stuff, or say Destiny, they'll go and add stuff early on to make it so people actually have a chance to, basically it's the format. It's you build a house, you need to go and lay down the foundation first. This is the foundation, where they have the announcements or the apps or whatever coming on out. So the service was announced to be coming to Xbox in January, but this could indicate that Ubisoft is getting to launch its currently PC-only service on Xbox soon. So we also have had pretty big connections too as well when it comes to them, when it came to the Rainbow Six, that weird virus game, I forgot what that game was called. That was just that bad. But basically they had that available on day one Game Pass. You also had to go and then sign in with your Ubisoft account, but it was also a Game Pass offering. And it has had a few other options where we've had Ubisoft work with these companies before, with Xbox before, to get their games on the system. And now it just would make a lot more sense, especially with EA also trying to work with Xbox too. It makes sense. You have a huge player base, you get microtransactions in the game, say if they maybe think Rainbow Six, you could go from there. So originally launched for PC as Uplay Plus in September 2019, Ubisoft Plus offers access to over 100 Ubisoft titles, including new games and DLC at launch for only $15 a month. For $18 a month, subscribers can access Ubisoft Plus on cloud gaming platform Stadia, as well as also on PC. And we have this quote too. We will offer the Ubisoft Plus subscription service to Xbox owners so that they can enjoy the full extent of our Ubisoft Plus game library, including new releases on their consoles, said Chris Early, Ubisoft's Senior VP of Strategic Partnerships and Business Development at that time of the announcement. Ubisoft currently offers a large selection of classic titles as well as certain tiers of PlayStation Plus. It's unclear if Ubisoft Plus would be integrated into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate in the same way as EA Play has. However, EA Play also offers a PC-only tier, which gives users new, full-price games as part of the subscription. This isn't actually currently offered on PC currently. So let's go talk about this a little bit more, because that's kind of like the big juicy news. Now, with the fact that we're now seeing this Ubisoft Plus showing up on the Xbox files themselves, that's a pretty big thing. Like, that's a pretty big number. Now, I think this is sick. Like, I think this is something that if you could put this on Game Pass, as more so for me who's a PC guy, but as well, I'm sure a lot of you folks also have an Xbox One, Xbox, or might get an Xbox, this would be an overall good big game changer. Because at this point, if you had a higher tier for all this stuff with these, say, Ubisoft or EA subscriptions, that just opens up to pretty much almost every big game out there. Now, like, think about this, and this is why I think it's a big game changer. When it comes to Xbox, if you had a premium tier, you'd have all the day one Xbox games, quite a few indie games too as well that they pick up and spend that marketing money on. They'd also have Ubisoft day one games, so think future Assassin's Creed games or Watch Dogs games or Rainbow Six or whatever it might be. There's a lot of like Ubisoft games, they'll say like Riders Republic, etc. And a lot of games that are also currently in development. Like we know they've been working on, they've had like promotion, stuff like that. The new Avatar game especially, like a lot of games like that. And as well, if you also had EA Play, you'd also then have access to say Battlefield or all the sports games too, which that by itself is a good deal. And then as well, you would also have things like Call of Duty and Overwatch and all these other various games, or maybe even potentially even World of Warcraft. And on top of that, too, games like League of Legends. And now I can kind of keep on seeing how this Monopoly talk keeps on coming up and up and up, because this is really kind of crazy stuff. Like, this is kind of a big deal, especially if they were able to go get full-on access to Ubisoft Plus as well. Now, in the counterpoint, though, we do actually see a lot of these older style, like, say, Assassin's Creed and other various games that are currently still available on PlayStation Plus on the deluxe and premium side. So it's not like PlayStation and Sony's not fully getting it, but there's a really big difference between having access to older games versus having day one Ubisoft Plus access. And I think a lot of us would agree, especially because that is more, I would say Ubisoft to me is more of a PC platform, especially if you have Ubisoft Plus or Uplay Plus on PC. Like, I mean, if you don't have it on consoles, it's going to be more of a PC, like, central thing. And a lot of PC gamers I know playing games like Division, etc., Rainbow Six, it is a really big PC game. Granted, people on consoles still play it, don't get me wrong, but it is a very big PC focus. So in my mind, this could be a massive, big game changer. And overall, whenever this is coming out, especially with these leaks now coming out in the back end, this seems bigger than expected. Because like I said, these are some of the biggest games out there. Say games like, say, Assassin's Creed. That is probably one of the best-selling games out there even as of now, and it just kind of seems like another really big W coming for, well, Xbox. But as well, we've also been seeing even more Ubisoft news too coming out here as well, where there's now apparently a new Blade video game from Ubisoft potentially in the works. So it looks like a video game associated with the Marvel character Blade, because now being in the works at video game publisher Ubisoft, which ties into what we were saying before, where if you had the Uplay Plus tied on in with this could really be a day one offer on Game Pass. Could be huge. So currently there is a vast number of Marvel video games in the works, which has Spider-Man 2, Marvel's Midnight Suns, Wolverine, etc., and also some things with like Black Panther and Iron Man. So it also looks like Marvel's, trying to push out some good games. But a YouTuber named JorRaptor recent post on social media within the past month seemed to tease that a Blade game could be in development. And overall, it kind of seems like we're still seeing Ubisoft kind of popping up in the news quite a bit, which is kind of cool. So it looks like they're kind of actually doing like some mocap and recording already. And with all the other games that Ubisoft has been working on, this actually might be a huge, massive pickup when it comes to Xbox. Xbox. So give me your thoughts and comments down below, as well as make sure you guys do check out that new Howl link as well with the Samsung monitor, which is pretty much a TV at this point, absolutely huge. Target links too as well, Twitter and Twitch streams down below, and make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well.